Good morning. Good morning out there. Lightbirds here with another insightful conversation of the morning. Hey there. Well, let me get into the conversation. And I'm talking about today being robbed of self respect. Have you ever had anybody of the dominant society? Hi, S. Wiseman. Good morning. Anybody of the dominant society tell you we all struggle? We all gone through something? Have you ever, yeah, I love hearing the birds chirp. Have you ever had them say that to you? Yeah, that right there is pure insanity. That's pure insanity because we are not on by any means on equal kill. By any means are we on an equal kill. The scale is not balanced enough for them to say such a thing because when you look at it, their ancestors didn't get beat by us, but it was the opposite. Our ancestors went through trauma and had their whole lives turned upside down. But yet, they can come and say, well, we all had it hard. It's insanity. It's insanity for someone to do that. And they have no love in them. It's insanity and they have no love or thoughts of anybody else outside of themselves. And I say we've been robbed of our self-respect because we have ever since we've been born, we have been under their hands. And when you are dealing with people that don't have self-respect for themselves to treat others and to even think of loving or know how to love, they don't know how to love, but it's just not there. So you're never gonna find that. So basically, I use this as an example. The same people who can hang up a black man because of his color, and cut off his penis is the same people we rely on to have our babies born. Not all of us do that. Some of us go and independently have our babies born. But having to be under the hands in school, our kids go into the school system, just being in the system of a people that have already shown us that they have no love for us within them. And when somebody shows, hey Benlin, when somebody shows you they have no love for you and you keep pushing for them to change, that robs us of our self-respect quite naturally. I don't care if there are nice ones. They're not. They're not. It's just is. You're gonna keep going around in circles over and over again because that's the whole that's the whole makeup. That's their whole makeup. It's going around and around in circles. Going around and around in circles. Doing the same thing over and over again. Having nothing but destruction and issues. Nothing but destruction and issues is what you face when you play the game and go around and around in circles. Being robbed of self-respect, you know. And it's day one when our children are born that we do this. And after that, it's us getting the education, getting in the education system. I mean, how can you ever see the thing about it, the natural thing, nature says, nature says that if something kills, causes pain, and destruction, and nature says this, if something causes destruction, that thing cannot exist amongst what it caused destruction to. That thing can exist amongst what it caused destruction to. It just it just won't work. Something is going to something is going to be heavily affected by that unnatural condition of the destructor being amongst the destructed and trying to create some kind of norm. It's just not going to work. It just doesn't work. It's not nature. It's not nature. It's not nature. And it it just causes what we see now. Something is not going to have its self-respect. Just like in a relationship, when you're in a relationship by yourself because you think somebody loves you and they don't. You think somebody loves you, but they don't love you. Your self-respect, your self-respect will tell you to get out of there. But if you never had self-respect and you've been robbed of self-respect on a whole different level, you know, in a whole different situation, no one can, of that dominant society that robbed you of your self-respect, has the right to come to you and tell you what you should be doing. It is idiocracy. It is insanity that person's mind has no balance. They're empty. They have nothing but to go around and destroy and make miserable. And they are happy in that. They are happy in the fact that they were able to destroy and have something to stand on top of. That's the lack of self-respect. And the lack of self-respect is by no means is it the victim's fault. That's why I don't understand people who victim blame. And when you victim blame, that makes you just as worse as the people who inflicted the person with the issue. And people victim blame, and they don't even understand. They're not even educated or try to educate themselves to understand a situation where people have been robbed of their self-respect. Kenyon West, he can't be out here talking about slavery was a choice when he has no self-respect, and the whole world knows he has no self-respect because he married a woman who has no self-respect, and she has no respect for him. Because if she had respect for him, she wouldn't have married the man. She would have known. See, love, when you say love, you got to know what you're talking about with love. You know, I'm gonna pull the cards, my notes from my ancestors on this one. You know, if you know you're a harlot, why are you gonna get with a man that you know is totally different than you are, and you're gonna have sex tapes come out on you, but you don't have love for yourself or respect for yourself to say, or for anybody else to say, well, I don't want to tarnish his thing. But this is the world we live in. We live in a society where people don't care. They don't care. They don't care. It's the little things that matter to them, but it's like, what do you call it? Hypocrites. It's like a hypocrite. It's like, on one point, moralism, when they want to throw it, it works, but at the other point, it goes out the door. You know, when they want to utilize it, they utilize it. When they don't, it's like it's gone. You know. But we live in a society that doesn't know what love is at all. And love is just not, it's not going out here having sex. And by far, it's not that. But I say once again, we've been robbed of our self-respect because we don't have anything. And we rely on the very people, and we have to be nice to the very people that are lunatic murderers, lunatic who run around mistreating others over a thing that called complexion color. Lunatics who created this mentality that other people have to suffer under. Lunatics who didn't even think about themselves in the whole process of it all, of being lunatics. So, who don't even care, you know, who just don't care at all. They just didn't care. It's just like, as long as I get my what they called freedom from Britain when they come over here on the Mayflower, as long as I get my freedom, you know, as long as I get my you know, but it was selfish. It was selfless people who tried to help and never once, you know, um, did any mistreatment of any sort, except for try to help. And this is what we get, robbed of our self-respect, where we don't have our own, we're not doing for our own selves, we're not loving ourselves, we're loving something that can be a murderer. We're loving something that can kill our relatives, that have killed our relatives in the past, our ancestors. But we are forced to be okay with it, even though it has been no resolve of no sort. No resolve, no help, but nothing but victim blaming. All the way around, victim blaming. And have gotten other people to victim blame along the way. What good does that do anybody? You know, nature knows what it's doing. And the planet knows what it needs to do. And it's going to keep doing what it needs to do. Relentless, unrelentless. And that's all right by me. Nature always wins. Nature can be harsh, but it's not harsh to its own. It's not harsh to its own. And I gotta go eat breakfast now, family. With that said, true love, real peace in our higher selves, the soul. Until next time.